Hello to my beautiful bees. Thank you for coming in. Let's flower together. So the first thing that I wanted to do on my first video was something simple, something fairly quick. I am Jen. I go by the Taxidermy Witch, and that is because I use bones, taxidermy, things that come from animals, and or I even like to use dolls and mannequins and things like that, things that I find that I'm just absolutely drawn to. So that's a little bit about me and a bit about my witchy practice. The first thing I want to show you today, though, is how I use frankincense, myrrh, well, sweet myrrh, and dragon's blood. How you can burn them on a cold disc, and I suggest to do it in a cauldron. And here's why. Because it can get quite smoky. You want to make sure you have a window open no matter where you're at. In this room in particular, I cannot open the window, but I will still try and make this video for us, so we will see how it goes. After this video, I'll be taking it outside. They suggest you let a coal disc like this burn for 10 to 20 minutes in between. Some people burn them up to 30, I've heard. I myself, you want to make sure there's something underneath for it to be protected, okay? You don't want to burn it on something that could catch on fire. For the purposes of this video, I have metal tongs and a cauldron to put it in right away, and a lot of skill with this. Everything will be fine. So, what you do first is, they come like this in the stores, these little guys. Okay, but you want to burn them, you want to flip it upside down, okay? So that it's not in a dome shape anymore, now it's in a hollow shape, okay? And you want to go ahead and set your coal disc so that the circle in the middle that's the indent is pointing up. And again, the dome shape is bad. If the coal disc is in a dome, if this is in a dome, it's bad. Flip them, okay? Get it on there. And you want to have a lighter like this. If you have a regular lighter, you will probably burn yourself because these will flick and spatter, okay? That's part of how you know that they are running. And then I will probably forget to show you later, so this is what I keep all my ash in because I use that for all kinds of spells. Okay, so we've got our coal disc, we've got our ash, we've got our long, like, if you have a barbecue, you probably have this. If you don't, then I guess you're rolling up paper and sticking in, which is dangerous. Just get one of these. You can get them pretty much anywhere. So, again, keep that in a safe space. Never leave it burning unattended. And you can just fuel this little guy up on all the sides. And you'll see it start to sparkle. And you'll see that it's red and hot on one side. And if you blow, you'll see the only place you've burnt it is in one area. So, if you're me, you continue to light it. I know that other people do it different ways. This is probably the quick, fast way. But please, safety, because look, it's crackling everywhere. I also have my water right here for if something goes wrong, okay? Precautions are so important. Keep your hair out of the way. You don't want that to burn. I mean, I have natural hair, but you don't want it to burn. Okay, so you're going to start to see this, like, crackle and flame all around. You can blow on it. That's what I do. It's really starting to cherry up now. So, burning a coal disc alone is extremely purifying, you guys. The burning of the coal is just, it'll cleanse your house. So if you don't have incense, you don't have sage, you don't have Palo Santo, you don't have frankincense, just burn a coal disc. It will cleanse your house. That's what we put in our black salts, isn't it? Sorry, little mushroom. Crushed up coal disc is what I put into this. And black salt I can use for protection in many ways. I can use it to keep people away. I can use it a lot of ways. Don't mistake this with the ash. I'll make a video on how to make this black salt though. Okay, so back to the coal disc. It's just simmering, burning, whatever. It's kind of only lit on one side. So I'm going to take the tongs because this is hot, you guys. Just don't forget. And even when it looks like it's done burning out, it's just like a barbecue, you guys. Just think of it as a teeny tiny barbecue. It's hot for the rest of the night unless you're like keeping it up and you know that it's, you know, completely boiling. So, lighting this. And while I let this burn down, I'm going to tell you guys all about my resins, which ones I use, maybe a couple different things about them. I haven't made notes, so if I ramble, hopefully I can fall back to my ingredients. Being a taxidermy or a bone type of witch, I have these two skulls that were given to me as gifts. Okay, they were forged for me, and when they were brought to me, the energies that were brought were pure. I have received gifts that when were given to me, the energies didn't feel pure. And I'm sorry, you guys, I love you, but I couldn't keep them. So I gave them as offerings into the earth at a place that was outside of my home. I did it when I was out on like a forest offering and such. So really good things happened out of them, but they just didn't belong with me, so I couldn't have kept them. All right, this is still hot, burning. Breathe your breath on it. When we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide, there's a change that happens there. Don't forget about that. So when we as witches and our intent, we close our eyes and we breathe onto something. Breathe your intent. Breathe in the now and breathe out what you want, you know? Make it a change. I like that theory, and I've always kind of gone with that. So yeah, back to these guys, found positively, given to me in a really awesome nature, and I love them. I've always felt really attached to them. I've always kept them safe in this jar and together. They like to be together, and they were from two different people, so that's kind of cool. Every time I reorganized, they got closer and closer until they became together, and they've always stayed that way, so I love them. I always have a candle burning for my workings. I've cleansed the area, even though I believe that frankincense alone can cleanse an area. I'm going to show you my forms of frankincense. This is frankincense resin. Right when you open it, it's amazing. This jar was expensive. It was like $40, but you get so many huge, tiny, every size chunks. It's so worth it. And, yeah, I mean, it's an organic frankincense, so that's what was probably $40. Okay, so, I kind of put my hand in and I asked who wants to be with me today, who wants to help today, you know? And these two little guys are our helpers today. So thank you. Kiss them, if you like, if you don't have lipstick on. They are edible. You have to kind of diagnose that within yourself. That is not medical advice from me. I'm not a medical professional whatsoever. Books I've read on magical things, definitely edible. I will make a video just on properties of frankincense, and there's loads of videos. Oh, not loads. There's videos out there. But I get information from books, videos, all kinds of things, friends, practical research, all of that. So, the next resin that I want to talk about, that I love, and I didn't ever even hear about until I got into witchcraft. Dragon's blood. It seriously makes me want to cry. And it immediately puts me into this, like, deep spiritual place. Let me show you a close-up on this without burning myself. And what dragon's blood is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what my research tells me, is it's a resin from a tree that's really similar to a palm tree. And I can't think of the name of the tree. So I keep my dragon blood in these giant chunks because I think it just is awesome. And then down in the bottom there's some like smaller chunks. And then I keep it in these chunks, which are just like kind of more like, not like brick dust, but like brick dust at the bottom and then like chunks at the top. So that's what I'm going to use to burn today. And then the last way I also powder my frankincense and I powder my dragon's blood. And I keep them in these old vintage bottles, which I usually antique store or sometimes thrift, but or get from my relatives or yard sales if they're drawn to me. If they seem bad energy, I mean, touch them, you guys. Feel things. If it feels like bad energy, use your gut. Intuition is so important in magic. That's all you need. You don't need any of these things. All you need is your intention and your intuition, and to be able to find a place within yourself. And what I'm talking about when I say that is like meditation. I don't think that you can channel this in the same way unless you have meditation, okay? And I think especially working with bones and taxidermy and spirits of animals, you definitely have to be careful and make sure you're super in tune with your energies or listening to your spirit guides, because they will give you signs when you're doing something that may be harmful to you, okay? This is myrrh, what accompanies frankincense in a lot of religious aspects, not just Christian. Myrrh in a big chunk. It's really, God, it smells good. It smells like food. It smells like yummy, sugary. It just smells like maybe a bit of Thanksgiving, but not all spicy. It just smells so lovely. And when you put that with the frankincense, it just makes so much sense. It's so much sense. So yeah, just, man, having that on my hands makes me happy. I will do an informational video on myrrh as well, because it's probably one of the second most known resins in the world, frankincense and myrrh, right? But now let's know dragon's blood, because man, that made me happy, didn't it, when we were just doing that? Oh, it was so good. Okay, so here is what I use to grind up. I have a special mortar, pestle, and spoon just for grinding resins for these. Thank God I didn't lose that. The reason is because they are super sticky. Like, part of it will turn up into a gumball, and at that point, you just take that gumball, burn it on here. But it's not going to be part of your powder, you know? It's like, kind of separates in a way. Or at least this strain that I have does, which is that. Don't know if we can read it or not, but we'll try. Alright, so the coldest, because I cannot tip it, obviously. It would be dangerous to even try with the tongs. I just thought to do that, but no. But I feel like in a little minute I'm going to talk about 2 more things, and in a little minute I'm going to put some resin on there. I forgot to ask the Myrrh who wanted to be with us. Okay, who wants to be with us today? Surely someone. Just one of you? Okay. That's our little Myrrh. Thank you. Kiss your things, guys. The energy of a kiss, closing your eyes and telling it you love it, is so powerful. Man, that gives such good intent and happiness to your things, believe me. And I have my things surrounding me. Over there in that corner, which you'll never see probably, is my bed. And then, you know, aside from me, there's a little bit of more of this, and I have my herbs over here, and I don't have my clothes in my room. I don't have a lot of things in my room. I just have this stuff in here, and this is where I sleep, and I wake up and I go straight to the floor or the window, which is so beautiful, out of, and I meditate, you know, first thing. I don't let myself do anything else first. Excuse me, if I wake up and I have to go to the bathroom, which is usually the case, first thing, go to the bathroom, okay? But if I wake up and I have an empty bladder, first thing I do is meditation. Alright. So, we've got the sweet myrrh, we've got the dragon's blood, we've got the frankincense, all in resin form. Now I want to show them to you in, this is a frankincense essential oil. This is just what my little metaphysical shop had. Star West Essential Oils. Pretty good brand. There's ones I like out there more though. You can do a big tip on this. I don't suggest it because a whole bunch could come out, okay? Until you get used to doing droppers and tipping, doing droppers and tipping essential oils like this, I would just stick to, like, if you need 3 drops, put it on your wrist, tip it, pull it back super quick, and you'll see, oh, now I've got drops, okay? So that, and then just kind of twist it on your dry skin, because, rub it in, those tops will get quite sticky because let's remember, where did this come from? A resin, a gum. Just like I said, when we ground it up, it turns into gum. You have to have a special mortar and pestle just for. So, okay, make sure we cap those. And I'm going to tell you, that smells good, but it's totally a different smell than opening this up and smelling it, or putting it on here and burning it, okay? Or even grinding it up. All different smells. And you'll figure out what you love, which is great. And that's such a cool thing to play with. You can burn it in an incense form. Okay. I don't know. I just bought this yesterday. I'm not saying anything bad about this brand. I should actually put it down. Or anyone. They just don't ever resonate the same with me. They don't breathe the same into my lungs. You can, if you're sick with colds and stuff, you can burn incense, and it's got antibacterial properties or antifungal properties, one or both of the two. So there's so many ways for you to heal this. The ancient Egyptians, I believe it was. Yeah, I'm actually sure it was because I know where the book. King Lamus suggested, and that's what I'll say for now, is King Lamus suggested to someone very popular, who's controversial in the magic world, to chew these for overcoming addiction. I've personally used that method and advice from that book, and if you want information on that book, just let me know. I'll tell it to you. And I'll do a review on it, actually. That would be awesome. If you chew these, you can overcome addiction, and you can actually feel very close to an opiate high in a way. But more of like on a spiritual level, more of like you're happy with yourself with nothing else, and you just feel that like within your chakras, and really beautiful, lovely thing, right? So everything, every like new time I am with frankincense, I learn more about it, and I just love it. Okay, so let's pop some of this on this coal disc. It's completely white around the edge, and it's still black in the middle. I'm just going to pick it up with the tongs because that is the absolutely safe thing to do. Again, kiss it if you want. The love energy is brilliant. Put it on the edge. That kind of went into the middle. That's okay. It'll still smoke. Blow some of your love onto you guys so you can see it start to smoke, I'm sure. Think of the change and the healing that you want. Breathe in with the now, and out with the change you want. Okay, that's really fantastic. God, it smells so good. And don't get me wrong, this may grind different because I bought it a while ago. However, I bought this 6 years ago, and I've always kept it in a sealed container, you know, with plenty of love. And it's amazing. It's amazing. I use it a lot more now that I know, like, crazy amazing things about it. Okay, inhaling this has different benefits than even just being around it. So I always want to get the benefits of that. I pop some dragon's blood on there. So it's like a dark red maroon resin. Man, it is so pretty. And that's like the color of my eyeshadow, actually. I'm sure you can't really see, but I just love it. And now that little piece of myrrh that wanted to be with us. Aw, baby. Man, that smells good. Okay. So let's say this is smoking up super big and it's just too much and you're like, oh no, no. A, you want longer tongs. This is just the metal tongs I had. You want metal tongs, you want longer tongs. I wouldn't use even silicone, but whatever, that's me. You're gonna think this is easier to grab like this, right? But no, it could slip out and, oh wait, no, you're gonna think it's easier to grab like this. But it could tip over, it could do lots of things. Just get confident and practice grabbing it like this. And thinking in your head, we're making it safely to the cauldron, okay? Up and in, safely to the cauldron. Alright. And at this point, you can either put the cap on if you can't go outside, like if you're in a, I don't know, whatever situation you'd be in. Oh, you're in the broom closet, whatever that might mean, or you're not practicing in front of family. Or you could just, it's not hot, just run it out. Out the door, okay? And you will cleanse your garden with it, which is beautiful. Let me make sure I've talked about everything on the table. Yeah, if you don't know how to burn incense in the stick form, here you go. It also comes in the cone form, and there's usually a spot right down here at the end of your incense stick where it can kind of sit. But again, here's my favorites for any kind of resin incense type of thing. My favorites are frankincense, and then dragon's blood, and then sweet myrrh, and I love them all on a different level, but I think I use frankincense most, and it just, to me, has so many healing benefits to my person, to myself, to my practice. It adds so much. You can make a home happy in just 1 week by burning it a little bit every day, and everybody in your home intaking a little bit of even that smell. Say your family member's allergic to smoke and they just can't be around smoke. Fine. Burn it in the living room, air out the complete house, shut the doors. The smell will be in the walls, in the fabric, and that's just a suggestion. I don't know the medical advice on that, but it'll be in the house and you'll find a way to have a happy home. So bring resins into your life. Make sure to be safe. Never leave a candle burning alone unless it's like a 3-day, a 7-day, something in a glass container where an animal can't, well, if it gets knocked over, it just goes out. I don't know, you guys. Take your own safety precautions, but really be smart. And I love you, my little bees. Please come back to the flower for my next episode. Many blessings from the Taxidermy Witch.